It's late. I'm maybe doing something a little bit not good, but it's fine. Yep. Gonna read Revelations. Yeah, remember Brainchild Project. Only 16 days left, I think, which is shocking, and I probably didn't actually book the hairdresser to, do that. But yeah, there or not, I don't really care, but that's a thing. I'm gonna read Revelations. And maybe talk about it? I don't know. Last few ones have been odd, to say the least. Yeah, if you have any talking points you want to talk about, put it in the comments. The Seven Seals. Now I watched when the Lamb opened one of the seven seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures say, with a voice like thunder, "Come." And I looked, and behold, a white horse, and its rider had a bow, and a crown was given to him. And he came out conquering and to conquer. And when he opened the second seal, I heard a living creature say, "Come." And out came another horse, bright red. Its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth, and so that people should slay one another. And he was given a great sword. And when he opened the third seal, I heard the living creature say, "Come." And I looked, and behold, a black horse, and his rider had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard what seemed to be the voice in the midst of the four living creatures, saying, "A quart of the wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarters of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and wine." Okay, I'm guessing a denarius is like a type of coin. Oh, wait, actually, my book actually has little notes. It says a denarius was a day's wage for a laborer. So that's the name for basically what they're paid. Yep. He opened the fourth seal, and I heard the voice of the fourth living creature say, "Come." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. Its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed him. And they were given authority over a fourth of earth, to kill with sword and with famine and with pestilence and by the wild beasts of the earth. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the witness they had borne. They cried out with a loud voice, "O sovereign Lord, holy and true, how long before you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on earth?" And then they were each given a white robe and told to rest a little longer, until the number of their fellow servants and brothers should be complete, who were to be killed as they themselves had been. When he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun came black as sackcloth, and the full moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell on to the earth as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale. The sky vanished like a scroll that is being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. Then the kings of the earth, the great ones, the generals, the rich and the powerful, and everyone, slave and free, hid themselves in caves and among the rocks of the mountains, calling to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come. Who can stand?" Yeah, so only 7 seals were opened. Yeah, only 7 seals were opened. Yeah, there's a little other thing that devotes to that, but yeah. Yeah, so the first 6 seals were opened. There's 7 seals on a scroll. This is where you get the idea of death and pestilence and whatever those four horsemen of the apocalypse. And some people say war, but apparently war's like not actually listed. It's like killed with sword, with famine, with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth, which is a bit different, I suppose. Like famine's definitely one of them. But yeah, the wild beasts of the earth. Huh. It's also interesting, like the whole will you avenge our blood? They cry out with sovereign, yeah, and the souls of those who are slain with the word of God. Basically, what it means is it implies that throughout the rest of Revelation, people will continue to be killed and things, but it also, which brings up the question: are we in Revelation currently? Which some people think we are. We're definitely not at the end of Revelation. Revelation has not completed. But some people like saying it's happening, and that kind of give credence to it because people are still dying in the name of God. But yeah, and all of it's like said to be a little bit low. Metaphor. So like, is there literally a great earthquake where people start hiding around, and do they actually know what's going on? There's implications that they don't fully know what's going on. They hid themselves in caves and among the rocks of mountains, and yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I suppose the first time I read it, I thought it made sense, but now I'm just confused. I suppose when I first read it, I was like, "Oh, this is all literal," but now I've come back to it. I kind of understand that it's not, and now you know it's not. It makes less sense because it's harder to make sense of what could this actually mean. When I first read this, I suppose it was just something to come that I was like, "Oh, this is fun," but after reading it, I never wanted to read it again. I worry these times are soon. Yeah, it's a lot. Just yeah, this. Oh, also like the whole thing. The writer's name was Death, and Hades followed him. Um, my book doesn't really say anything about what Hades might mean, but honestly, in it's weird that it's written. Is the best way of putting it, because in Greek culture you don't really write Hades because this was written in Greek. More than likely, it was written in Latin. It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it would say Pluto. Because that was the Roman god of the underworld, not the dead, the underworld. Yeah, it was not seen. You didn't want to, especially in Greek culture, you didn't want to evoke the names of the gods. Wait, this was supposed to be written in Greek, but it was also written at the time of ancient Rome. Maybe it was written in Latin, but in which case, why are you writing Hades? I don't know. Maybe Hades was then later used as an euphemism in Rome as a replacement to Pluto. I don't know. But basically, either way, that's the god of the underworld, meaning it's implying, and I feel like the rest of the books, when they say Hades, they're implying the underworld. They're not saying hell necessarily. They are. It is the underworld, but then that's me going with my. But that's me combining this knowledge with my knowledge of ancient Greek gods and Roman gods, which I have a passing interest in. And I do know he's very much the god of the underworld. He's not the god of hell, which is Tartarus, basically. And even that's kind of not hell, because that's different to the fields of punishment. And anyway, but yeah, although it could be, and hell followed him, but like that doesn't seem right to me. So honestly, and Hades followed him, meaning the underworld followed him, the dead followed him. Like, those are the kind of things I'm getting from that. The writer's name was Death and Hades followed him. Like, it's less likely that hell's literally following him, and more likely that the underworld, death, is following him. Or that Hades he wasn't the god of death, but it was Roman times, so maybe it could have been a pseudonym for, like, literally the god of death. Oh, the underworld, let's just call it death. So, like, death followed him, and it's like, he's the god of death, so death following him. I suppose whenever I see it, I'm so confused about that choice of word, especially in like more modern versions of the Bible. Like, surely you could have found a better fitting translation, but apparently not. I don't know. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot. It makes basically no sense. If you can make sense of it, please, in the comments, discuss. Or even just what weirded you most out by reading it. So yeah, this was Revelation 6. Also, remember, I am, as always, reading the English Standard Version. I'm pretty sure it's copyright 2001. That is now, I didn't get it in 2001. I don't know that could be when the book was copyright. 2008. Nope. Text Division 2011. That makes more sense. I would have got this not then. Yeah, because that would mean I'd had it for 12 years. I probably only had it for 10. Like 8, I probably had this for 8 years, roundabout, which actually is surprisingly little now I think about it. But yeah, so yeah, kind of odd that they used that thing, but yeah, you text what you were most confused about, or if you understood any of it. And why am I saying text? Comment, please. And maybe donate. Bye!